folks, JD here, and today we've got this. This is the Unique Breeze 4K. Now, it's with a big thank you to Mark RC for sending me this. We did a bit of a swap. I've swapped him a quadcopter and he swapped me this. So, let's open this up and have a little look. So there's multiple parts to this unboxing today. So we've got the quadcopter and then we've got the FPV kit with the transmitter as well. So if I just take out everything that we have here first and have a little look at it and see what we've got. So, right, this looks quite nice. So we have a plastic Breeze 4K box here. So if we open this, then inside, obviously, what do we have? We have our quadcopter. So let's take everything out for the moment, and then we'll come on to the accessories and other things in a little while. So what we've got is the quadcopter. So here we have it. She's quite a large bird, quite a nice, quite firm, quite nicely built little quadcopter, I gotta be honest. I mean, size-wise, she is actually my hand is a bit bigger, as you can see, but she feels quite light, I think, and feels quite back heavy where the battery is. Now we have 4 propellers, as we can see from the top and on the sides here. We'll come back to those in a minute. We have the 4K camera directly underneath here. That is capable of recording 4K at 30 frames a second. Then we've got 1080p at 30 frames a second as well. And then you've got 720 at 60 frames a second. So it depends on exactly what it is that you want from that camera. You do have multiple modes, and it is motorized, so you can alter its angle. You can alter its angle quite a lot, and it is all done via the transmitter or via the app, whichever you decide to use. As we come across the top, we have our antenna and GPS modules. Then we have the battery at the back. So this battery does clip out. It's a little bit fiddly to get it out there, but once you've got it out, there we go. Probably easy if I put the whole thing on the bench. Then you have got an 1150 milliamp hour 11.1 volt battery, which takes approximately 45 minutes to charge, and will give you about 7 to 10 minutes of flight approximately. When you pop that back in, there is only one way it can go, and that is just with the little click button facing up, and then you click it in. Underneath that, we have the on and off button, of course, for turning on and off the quadcopter. Then we have the optical flow as well as the indoor sensor as well, because there's one thing about this quadcopter, and it's one thing I won't be doing. You can fly this indoors. Unique actually say on the packaging as well as in the manual, you can fly it indoors. They do recommend, if you do that, just to put on the propeller guards on there as well, just so that you don't be knocking anything and destroying anything with these huge brushless motors. And then we have a bit of variation at the bottom there, just for the printed circuit boards and the battery, just to draw some heat from the inside. Now, as we are looking at the underside, we have these really nice landing sprigs that just fold out very nicely and click into place. That gives it quite a nice bit of height, so you do have a good few inches between the propeller, the motors, and the grass or the ground there. So you have a nice little bit of clearance, and it makes it look quite nice, doesn't it? Quite mean. I think I really quite like that, you know, with it down. I quite like it with it up as well, don't get me wrong, but with it down, just adds that extra bit. It looks a little bit Bugs-esque, or should I say the Bugs have taken on that to look a little bit Breeze-esque perhaps. But all in all, yeah, I really like that. I think that's a really nice looking quad. Now, as for weight, what are we looking at? Well, what I'm going to do is just be popping these back in here. Weight wise, we are looking at, she's going to be over the 250 gram mark. She is 388. That's your flying weight with the battery inside, so 388 grams. So as soon as the 250 gram low restrictions go active in the UK in November 2019, this will have to be registered. Okay, a couple of other points about this particular quadcopter. It has a 2206 brushless outrunner motor, as well as maximum flight altitude of 80 meters. It's limited by software because it does have a geofence built in. That just stops quadcopters from running away. You've seen it before in a load of other videos I've done on the channel. It'll hit a geofence and come back a little way, and then you have full control and you can bring it back. Flight time, is up to 12 minutes, not 10. Max horizontal speed is 5 meters per second. Max ascending speed is 1 meters per second. Operating temperatures between 32 degrees, between 0 degrees and 40 degrees Celsius. It has indoor positioning system that we spoke about and GPS as well. Obviously I'm not going to be using this indoors just because my living room is tiny and I don't want to damage this or anything around because the wife will kill me. Now, scene modes, you have nature, saturation, you can even record in RAW. And also night mode, although it's not recommended to fly in night. Internal memory is 16 gigabytes, so that it gives you plenty enough for some nice 4K action. Obviously, if you lower the resolution, you are going to be able to record a lot more onto that card. So if you don't need 4K, dumb it down to 1080, and if you don't need 1080, whack it on 720 for you to get that extra frame rate a second as well of 60. So the photo format as standard is JPEG. Photo resolution is 4160 by 3120. You do also have an option of recording at 720p at 30 frames a second, and they're all 30 frames a second on the downlink if you are using your phone just to record on that as well. So that is worth noting. A couple of other things as well. So you have a couple of other features, Smart Follow Me and video editing as well. I'd be quite interested to see those, as well as from the app, which is called Breeze Cam. Which is on the Apple App Store and Google Play. You also have intelligent flight modes, which is Pilot, Selfie, Orbit, Journey, and Follow Me. So that's just a couple of things there as well, just to let you know. Right, so that's what we have. I really can't wait to take her out. Okay, let's put that to one side. You also get another battery with it as well. Same 1150 mAh, 11.1 volt. That's really standard, but also good that you get a second one in there. So we're going to put that to one side. I'll charge that one up as well. Then you also have your 4 propeller guards, which is also an added extra, which is good. Because normally you have to buy those separately. That's what I mean by that. You have your manual, as well as you have your warranties in here and everything else. Opens out quite nicely into a couple of little books in there, and beginner's guide, how to set it all up. When you connect it to your smartphone, it does tell you in the manual, but the password is 0123456789. As well as you do get, as well, it looks like spare propellers. Yep, spare propellers. And you get quite a lot of them as well. Wow. You do get a lot of spare propellers. That's good. And then you also get your charger in here and your cable. So you have all that in there, looking quite nice. Right. So that is, so far, the quadcopter and some bits, which all come together to make quite a lovely package. But there's another thing I'm interested in, because along with this, Mark did send us the Breeze FPV controller as well. So you have inside here, you have your GameSeer transmitter, Bluetooth connection, as well as you have your FPV goggles. So let's just go into this very quickly, just so you can see the other things you get. So you get another little micro USB cable just for charging your GameSeer. Now, I'm sure all of you know how to put this on, but I'm going to go through it with you again. With your FPV boom, just go into it, you just clip it round very, very simply, and then you just push that in until it clips in like that. And that is essentially how the FPV boom just clips onto your transmitter, and then you can put your smart device in there then. Feels quite nice, feels quite rigid. You can tighten it as well just by using these little nubbins at the side here, just tighten it so that it doesn't move as much should you require it to be tighter for a larger phone. You also have your standard, it's a GameSeer. It's a standard game style joypad. You have your 4 buttons here, Y, B, A and X. You have your clear, turbo, select and start. Your on and off button in the middle. Turn on, click once, and then to turn off, click and hold. And then you pretty much you just control it just as you would any other quadcopter, and we'll go into all the buttons when we actually come to fly her in the next couple of days. That's nice, feels nice in hand, and as it's a game controller-esque, you know it's going to work really quite well as well. Micro USB charger directly in the back, so you haven't got to worry about changing the batteries on there. And then we have the very unique looking FPV goggles here for the FPV, because you do have VR mode built into the app, and you can just pop that on there, pop it on your head, and you can go for gold. Now, when I come to actually fly this in FPV, I don't know if I'm going to be using this. I think I'm going to be using my own pair, just because my own pair I'm really used to at this stage. But these are very nice for anybody who is either new to FPV or hasn't got a pair of FPV goggles. These will do the trick. Pretty much, you bring down the portcullis, you put the drawbridge, you put your phone in there, and then that then just clamps nice and stable so that you can just move your head and you haven't got to worry about your phone slipping out. So those are the goggles. And also you get quite a nice little bit of padding in the back as well. And you get a couple of little sliders at the top here so you can move the lenses around so you can get your optimum sight out of that. Right, that looks quite nice. All in all, my friends, this is a hell of a package. Thanks ever so much, Mark, for sending this. I'm really looking forward to flying it. So there we have it. So far, what do we have? We have the quadcopter, all the accessories. We have the GameSeer pad, we have the 2 batteries, we have the micro USB cable for the GameSeer, we have the FPV goggles as well. This makes one hell of a package, and honestly, it's going to be fantastic to fly it, and I honestly can't wait. Alright then folks, well thank you ever so much for watching and listening. I've been JD, you've been fantastic as always. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. Hello and welcome to all the new subscribers, I hope you're enjoying the channel. So until next time my friends, happy flying.